The chip method is a very simple method that my father told me about when I was younger. And it wasn't until I got older in my life that I really started listening. So, moving forward, I'm going to share a lot more of these videos of wisdom from my father, lessons I've learned from my father, because a lot of people out there are hungry for that wisdom. Then maybe they didn't have that father figure in their life or father in their life, whether whatever the reason may be, deceased, never even met their father, or maybe had a really weak relationship, whether it was toxic or the father wasn't there, whatever the reason is. I'm going to be putting out a lot more of this content because I think it'll help a lot of people who are really seeking wisdom and walking the path and are ready to listen. My dad speaks of the chip method basically being when it comes to anything in life, any project you have to work on, anything that, it can be internal growth, it can be setting up a new goal, whatever it is. The chip method is very simple. Is each day chip away. I know in my own experience, I would try to do so much at once. I speak about my experience a lot of not taking responsibility and then living in that and then going into a place where I'm like, you know what? To make up for that, I'm going to take on so much responsibility. And I would set up all these things to do, and it would be crazy. And I would end up falling on my face and going back into, the same routine. My father shared, he actually sent me a text that he shared an experience that he had. Again, this is not rocket science. This is not something, this is the chip method. It's so profound. Oh my God, it's something I never knew. It's a lot of the videos I put out is just reminding you of what you already know. It's so easy in this world where instant gratification and escapism and a thousand steps to this and that. It's those simple nuggets of wisdom that we just forget sometimes. But he shared a time where he was painting his apartment and he failed to use the chip method. And he exhausted himself to the point where he got paint all over the place and he ended up stepping inside the paint and got it even more all over the place. So he was painting his place and he wanted to get so much done that he ended up exhausting himself and gets paint all over the place. Steps in it, makes a mess. And it's just a simple reminder that when you don't set that chip method in place, when you're not chipping away, instead you're trying to get everything done at once, that it ends up being counterproductive. Haste makes waste, as it also goes, as the saying goes. So whenever you're trying to get things done, you're trying to get a big project done, break it down into those small steps. Small steps are your friend. This is the way we build habits. I'm a big fan of systems, having those systems in place, very small systems. And if you're someone who, like me years ago, I mean, I wasn't even getting out of bed in the morning. I had those moments in my life where I was just so overwhelmed with the mind trying to do so much and do so much. And I'd talk myself out of doing things, in part making this podcast. I would say I would think about all the ways to do it and this extra, I'll have a big set and I'll do it. And it was the action. It was the small actions that I wasn't implementing day by day. So if you're someone who is really overwhelmed with life and you're in a bad place, something as simple as setting up these small things each day, these small daily habits, whatever it may be, flossing your teeth twice a day. It doesn't have to be this extravagant thing. I'm big on the 1% rule. Every day, 1%, build on that. And those small habits, again, we know this, but again, this is just another reminder of telling you what you already know, telling myself, this is a reminder for myself too, because it's so easy to forget that simple chip method. So shout out to my dad. Thank you for that wisdom. And I hope that helps you as well.